Okay. Okay. All right. So, uh, pre-stream, just making sure everything's working, and yeah. So you probably see I have a tier list pulled up. I haven't shown you exactly what it is, because we're doing Cannon Spike tonight, which is okay. So it's Gun Spike in Japan, but because it's named Cannon Spike, it makes you at least think that it is a Cammy spin-off game, because Cammy's uppercut move is called Cannon Spike. So we are doing a Street Fighter tier list. This is not a tier list of what the best character in the game ever at any point in time is going to be, because that's impossible. And some of the characters are not even in the latest version of Street Fighter. So this is more of a character analysis, how important these characters are to the series, how interesting they are to the series, stuff like that. So I edited this so that it's going S through F. It's important to note that I don't really hate very many Street Fighter characters. There's just some that I dislike. So you're probably not going to see very many fall into the F category, unless they are just completely abysmal and worthless. So I can still think of maybe one or two that might fall into that category. But so, and I have ordered them in order of the actual series. So Street Fighter V and characters who are introduced in 5 are primarily at the bottom. So, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and start with the main man, which is Ryu, who is basically... he's basic karate man, right? He's your basic karate man character. He has basically no motivation in the first one, other than beats a god. And then he gets a little motivation in Alpha, which is conquer the raging demon thing, which is sort of his side story. And then they just kind of stick with that for the rest of the series. So, yeah. He has a little bit of something going on, so maybe I'll put him as a B. No, I'm sticking him as C. He's straight in the middle. Bare minimum you could do with the character, right? So, and he basically conquers the whole thing off screen, apparently. So, by the end of the Street Fighter V story, he has conquered it despite having not accomplished anything that we can see. So, whatever. Ken, I really want to put him higher than Ryu. In fact, I think I will, and there's a good reason for it. So, even though Ken is not supposedly as strong as Ryu, because he splits his time between fighting and, you know, having a girlfriend and having a family, training other people, you know, he is not as strong of a fighter. But here's the thing, Ken has a legacy now. He has a son named Mel who could show up in Street Fighter games that happen after Street Fighter 3 if they ever got to that point. So, Ryu doesn't have a legacy. He refuses to train anybody. He's constantly trying to make himself more powerful. But eventually he's going to be Old Man Ryu. And then what happens? So, Ken gets a few points just because he has a legacy worth something going forward. Yeah. So, Eagle. So, Eagle is a character that's introduced in Street Fighter 1. And in the Street Fighter series, the only one he comes back for is Street Fighter 3 Upper, which is a version that was released for the Game Boy and for the PSP. The PSP version is the only one that is really, actually pretty good. The Game Boy version, I wouldn't recommend it because they had to cut a lot of content, even though they didn't cut characters, which might surprise you. But they ported him over from Capcom versus SNK 2, so that's why he looks like this. I did not hit the red button. There we go. Okay. So, quick review, because I didn't hit the red button. So, Ryu is just regular Karate Man. They do something interesting with him by having the Satsui no Hado try to take control of him, and then they just go with that for every game until 5, when he finally conquers it off screen. Ken at least has a legacy after Street Fighter 3 because he has a child. He's obviously a much more well-balanced person than Ryu. Ryu is just sitting there fighting people all the time. Okay, so then we go to Eagle. Eagle's another Street Fighter 1 character. Eagle doesn't really have a lot going on. He only shows up in Street Fighter 1 and he shows up in Alpha 3. And even then in Alpha 3, he doesn't have a lot going on either. He's supposedly a secret agent trying to expose Shadow Lu. Okay, he's not working with any of the other fighters, including the ones from England. Go figure. So, he's not bad. He just doesn't have a lot going for him. So, Birdie kind of the same thing. So, the weird thing is Birdie was originally a white guy in the first Street Fighter, and they wrote it off as, oh, he was ill in Street Fighter 1. That's why he looked pale. And he turns out to be a black guy in Alpha. Yeah, well, okay, whatever. But Birdie is kind of interesting. He's a different flavor of grappler than some of the other characters. He's still dumb as a post, but some of the characters are going to be like that. I don't have any. I don't have any ill will toward Birdie. I just don't particularly care for him very much. Is the thing. So, Gen actually has a lot going on in the story now that I think about it, because he is familiar with Chun-Li's father. So it's debatable canonically whether or not he actually trained Chun-Li at all, but he is at least familiar with Chun-Li and her father. He's familiar with the fact that Bison killed her father. And then on top of that, he's also familiar with Gouken. And he knows how Gouken managed to survive Akuma's attack the first time. He's also a character from Street Fighter 1. He's part of the Chinese team in the first Street Fighter tournament. So, again, it's kind of interesting. And I don't think Street Fighter 5 brought him back. He was in Street Fighter 4. As far as fighting styles go, he's kind of wonky, but it's one of those things where you kind of expect that kind of character to show up. So, I mean, he's fine. And he's like old man assassin, so he winds up he's looking for somebody to kill him, so he winds up fighting Akuma. We'll get to that later. Adon. Alright, so Adon goes back to just the... I don't hate Adon, and I think part of it is the fact that he's the only other Mai Tai fighter that the series has. He's kind of a kook. He's almost in the place of Birdie, in the sense that he's really one note. He doesn't really go anywhere. But at least he has some kind of, you know, goal that he's achieving. His whole rivalry with Sagat, and then later with Akuma, is kind of a big deal. I mean, not drastically, but so I think Adon's okay. But yeah, I mean, the next character on this list is a vast improvement over him, and that's Sagat. And Sagat is one of the few characters, I'll probably put him on A tier, because he's one of the few characters that actually develops over the course of the series. So, Sagat's story starts off in Street Fighter 1 as him being the big boss that you have to fight at the end. And Ryu fights him, presumably loses to him badly, but as Sagat is, you know, friendly, trying to pick him off his feet, he shoryukens him across the chest, which is where he gets the scar. And because of that, Sagat develops sort of a... I guess Ryu technically wins the tournament because of that. And so Sagat winds up having a bit of a vengeance streak for a while. Now, the thing is that was supposed to carry over through Street Fighter 2, but in actuality, the way Alpha plays out, most of that's done with by Alpha. So, by Street Fighter 4, he is really, you know, finding inner peace. You know, and, you know, like, the best example, even though it's technically not canon, is Street Fighter Cross Tekken. He pairs himself off with Dhalsim, of all people. So it's very clear that he's a character who has gone through being the bad guy to becoming somebody who is not only driven by vengeance, but is beyond that now. You know? So, kudos for Sagat actually having something of a character arc. And I almost want to put him in S tier, but I'm going to leave him in A tier for now, just in case. So, in fact, no, let's go ahead and put him in S tier, because I don't think we're going to have very many characters who actually have an arc at all. So, because our next character is Honda. And Honda's whole thing is, I want sumo to be a thing. Okay? That's it. That's about all he's got. I mean, it's fine. He's a sumo wrestler. But, you know, he's not going to get other sumo wrestlers in on the Street Fighter action, most likely. So, for the most part, he's just kind of goofy, but he's not goofy in the same sense that Birdie is, where he's just a total idiot. I mean, it's kind of like he's goofy, but he also kind of knows he's goofy, so give him points where he can get them, I guess. So, as far as story-related stuff, not particularly interesting. Chun-Li gets a few points for having a legacy, because she adopts a girl at the end of Street Fighter 3. She may have won Street Fighter 2 tournament. It's very unclear how that actually went down. She's a big part of the investigation into Shadow Lu over the course of Alpha, as well as Street Fighter 2. So she's a pretty big player. She's the only character to have two endings in Street Fighter 2. Neither of which apparently are canon. So, but yeah, she's kind of a staple character. She's probably going to show up in every Street Fighter from here on out. The only Street Fighter she hasn't been in is 3 New Generation and 3 Second Impact. So, but she's a great character. She's a good looking character. And yeah. So, Guile. Where do we put you, buddy? Guile's sort of important here. Just because he's also a big part of the investigation going into Shadowloo. Most of his story actually plays out in Alpha 3 now, based on how the games have unfolded. He's less important as you move forward into the series. And the thing is, his Street Fighter 2 ending is he's supposed to go back and be a family man. It seems like he has a hard time doing that. So, it's very interesting that he is the way he is in this. He's just sort of the typical American bro kind of character. So, but he's not bad, and theoretically there's a legacy there that he has to deal with. So, I mean, he was a character that was driven by vengeance, similar to Sagat initially, and presumably he got over that. But did he? We don't really know. There's very little to indicate whether or not that actually happened. So, I don't know. He's kind of hard to place anywhere, but I think he probably fits somewhere in this. So, Zangief. Pro wrestler, big Russian guy, beats up bears for a living. That's about all you really need to know. He's never really developed anywhere past that to any degree. He's been thrown in with the bad guys every now and then just for the heck of it in like cartoon shows and stuff like that. So he's kind of dumb, but he's not Birdie. I am super, super, super dumb in any story related stuff. In terms of fighting style, I mean, he's pretty classic, but there's just not a whole lot going on for him. So he's very much like Ryu Karate Man. He's just a staple that everybody is familiar with. So Blanka. I kind of like Blanka, but I actually need to put him down here. And that's mostly because he's a character who had some potential and they did nothing with it. Because he's like, they never really explained what happened to Jimmy. Why is he like this? And the theory, at least, was that it had something to do with Shadowloo experiments. At some point, the freaking Street Fighter movie decided that this was Charlie. It's not. But, I mean, that would have at least been an interesting backstory. But instead, they just decided, I don't know. He's friends with Sakura and Dan, apparently. What? So, I like Blanka in terms of playstyle. I don't like Blanka in terms of where he is as a character, because he basically nothing. It's like they had some ideas and then they dropped it. So it's like, I don't know. It's really, really dumb. Dalsim is just kind of blah. He's just there. He's the magical wise man person. And that's basically all he ever is in any of the stories. In terms of fighting style, it's cartoonishly ridiculous, but I mean, it's at least something different. So, Dulcine's fine. I never played Dulcine for an extended period of time or anything, but I think he's fine. So, he's kind of a staple. He falls into the Honda Zangief kind of, staple Street Fighter characters. Claw, aka Vega, aka Balrog. He's a character I don't like very much anymore. He was okay for a while. It's just they had some interesting interactions with him, with Cammy and with Rose and Alpha. They did nothing with it. And I mean, there are so many places you could go with him. And they just decided not to. So he's just kind of another minion. And that's disappointing. So he's not garbage because I think there's still something there. It's just I don't think they really hit him very well. Balrog, aka M. Bison, aka Boxer. Actually, he has kind of a legacy, which we'll get to in a little bit. This character is actually really fun to play. To be honest. Let's be honest here. Just because you sit there and you charge and then you punch the living snot out of people. And even if you don't particularly care for his playstyle, it's simple yet effective enough that he ends up in top tiers of Street Fighter all the freaking time. And then he's a character that is actually kind of different from every other character, now that you think about it, because all the other characters are like, oh, I'm a secret agent, I'm here to get rid of Shadowloo, oh, I'm here to make myself strong, and and stuff like that. Balrog just wants the freaking money. Just give me my fight money, that's all I want. So yeah, he's working for Shadowloo mostly because he just wants money, and he actually ends up taking on maybe a little more than he could chew with a prodigy. So it's interesting that some of their bad guys are actually some of their more dynamic characters. So I don't think I can put him any higher than this, but yeah, he almost breaks this threshold here just because of the fact that he's a character who has one very specific motivation and somehow winds up with a lot more than he bargained for. So, which is interesting. All right, so Dictator, aka M. Bison, aka the big bad of the series. And so it's kind of hard to get away from the series going forward without actually having to deal with Bison in some fashion. Just because of the way he's sort of been part of the series for so long. Particularly in the Alpha series, where he was just basically this big bad monster man. So and the thing is that he has created in a lot of ways he creates his own demise, because he ends up creating Seth. He inadvertently, or by proxy, ends up creating Jury. He creates Cammy, he creates the dolls, all of these people who end up turning on him eventually. So it's one of those, he's his own worst enemy. in a lot of ways. Um, the fact that the story for Street Fighter V basically pits him against basic Karate Man makes absolutely no sense and is not satisfying whatsoever because Ryu is so blah of a character and he is just pure evil man. So yeah, if it was a fight between Ryu and Sagat again, that would at least have some kind of emotional backing to it because there's a clear connection between those two characters. There's not a clear connection between these two characters. So, I'd actually say Bison's up here though, just because you can't really deal with Street Fighter anymore unless you answer the Bison question in some fashion. T-Hawk is... I really want to like T-Hawk, but he's down here. He's similar to Vega. They don't do enough with him. He's kind of cool. I like his playstyle. But there's just nothing there to work with, you know? Kind of similar with DJ. DJ's fun. Not a whole lot that you can work with there. Fei Long... As far as Bruce Lee clones go, Fei Long's not half bad. But he's still a Bruce Lee clone. So he's still down here. And story-wise, he doesn't really impact anything. None of these three do, ever, at any point. T-Hawk is presumably related to one of the dolls. But that nothing ever really fleshes out from that. Cammy, okay. So... Cammy definitely is either A tier or S tier, and I'll figure out which as I'm talking about it, because Cammy is probably the character with the most backstory out of all of the characters, because she starts off as a clone of Bison who fights for Bison and kills people, and then finds out that she's a clone of Bison, turns against Bison, frees... Originally, it was all the dolls. Now it's like some of the dolls, and frees herself of his mind control. And then Street Fighter V teams up with her arch nemesis to basically save the rest of the dolls. In terms of Street Fighter's story, Cammy is actually carrying the bulk of it, to be quite honest. She has more of a she has more of a beef with Bison than anybody else does. And I mean, there would be a lot more of that sort of, satisfaction in a final fight between Cammy and Bison than there ever would be between Ryu and Bison. So now the reason I don't know if she quite fits S tier is because Cammy herself, I don't know, goes through that many changes. I mean, yeah, she ends up turning on Bison, but that's a breaking of his mind control thing. That's not necessarily her changing her mind exactly. It's kind of like the best example is out of modern equivalents is Captain America Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes was brainwashed and just became basically Bucky Barnes again after he broke the brainwashing. So the same thing is basically happening to Cammy. She was brainwashed to do Bison's bidding, and then she's not anymore. So I think A tier is probably where she's at. She's very important in terms of the story just because of how prevalent Bison has been. But she is not a very terribly dynamic character. So she's a very interesting character. She has the most backstory relevant to the series, but she's not necessarily the most developed character. So, all right, Akuma is absolute garbage. Oh, okay. So, Akuma, I will stick up here, and the reason I was going to say he's complete garbage is because the backstory of Akuma keeps getting changed in the sense that his big whole thing was this: he's a Shotokan character who actually kills people, you know, and that's his whole shtick. But the more that we get into, the further you get into the series and the more characters he ends up fighting, the more you realize that he is actually terrible at killing anybody. The big catalyst for Ryu and the Satsui no Hado is his master getting killed, and Akuma didn't even get that done right. So, because the Goken winds up coming back anyway. So it's like I kill people. Do you really? Do you really, Akuma? Or do you like to just say you kill people and, you know, just let them leave? You know. So, he's not terribly interesting as a character, but he's at least something different. And honestly, you could probably make a more interesting story if it was just Ken and Akuma instead of Ken and Ryu. So, speaking of which, so we have Evil Ryu, which is total garbage. Violent Ken, which is only slightly above garbage. Now it's still garbage. Because these are basically just Akuma, but Ryu or Ken instead. They're what-if characters. So we're starting to get into time here. So we've gone through Street Fighter 1 and World Warriors. So let's save what we got so far. Download image. Yep. Are you going to download or not? Because I didn't realize this was probably going to take a while, so. Alright. We'll just do that. So, we'll come back and do the final fight alpha. Basically everything that wasn't Street Fighter 1 and Street Fighter 2. But, yeah. So that's the list so far. And a lot of people are falling in the middle here, but yeah. Sagat, I think, is probably the most developed character, even if he's not necessarily necessary to the story. And Cammy is definitely the character most tied into a lot of the story aspects of it. And then Bison is just... He's not as important anymore, but you really do have to kind of deal with him if you want to make any future Street Fighters. So, anyway... So, can we get a Sagat side game? No. There is a Cammy side game, though, and that's what we're going to play next. So, yeah, let's just close this out. We'll go ahead and switch over to Ken and Spike. We do not have a signal yet, because the Dreamcast is not on. It's going to beep at me. Alright. Let me check, make sure we're getting game audio. Because I can't hear it unless I have these headphones on. I'm not getting... Oh, no we are. Okay, good. Yeah, I know it's not 1998, but what can you do? Let me close that. Let's see. Yeah, so this game is kind of a top-down shooter. It's basically a shmup, but it features a handful of Capcom characters plus 2 new ones. Japanese name's called Gun Spike rather than Cannon Spike. They gave it the name Cannon Spike, I presume, to associate it with Cammy. But yeah, it's as you can see, it's sort of a blend of 2D, 3D. Like, it's 3D graphics, 3D environments, but you're mostly doing everything on a 2D plane. So it came out in 2000. So let's see. Yeah, we'll do normal. Why not? Alright. So Cammy, and you have 2 different outfits for her. Mega Man and BB Hood, but we'll do Cammy first. Just because it makes sense. You know, it's Cammy's game, let's play as Cammy. Let's see if I can remember what the controls are. Okay, so that's heavy. And then you also have, Cannon Spike. And a light melee attack. And she does have a special, but I can't remember which button. There it is. See that says Fallen Balrog, which, if you recall, Balrog is the name of the character with the claws in Japan. So they just didn't bother to change his name. Whoops. Whoopsie doopsie. Ah. There we go. There we go. Yeah, those 2,000 polygons. Whoops, students. Yeah, see. So you have to aim and move around with one stick. And she won't change direction if you're shooting, so that allows you to strafe, but you can't change direction unless you let go of the fire button. Ow. Whoa. Excuse me. Alright, there we go. There's the boss music. Yeah, so for some reason in this game, the boss music just takes for freaking ever to get started. Ow. And I don't. Yeah, there's the health, of course. Whoa. Golly. Oof. Golly, this guy does a ton of damage. Get out of here. Ugh. Yeah, just in case you thought this game was going to be easy. So, I mean, it's really interesting that each of these stages sort of has its own little theme going on. Like, this is clearly like a Darkstalkers / Resident Evil type stage. It makes me wonder if they originally intended for other characters to be in this at some point, maybe. There we go. Monkey. No, go away, monkey. Bad monkey. Bad monkey, go away. No, no, bad monkey, go away. No, go away. The fact that it says Bio Gorilla makes me think that it's a Resident Evil reference. But maybe not. Whoa, jeez. Whoa. Get out of here. So now we get a bunch of people who want to go melee with you. Whoa. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah. Get out of here. There we go. Get out of here. Come on. Yay. Alright. Ouch. No, you don't. Oh gosh. Get out of here. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then these guys. Blow one of them up to sleep. Oh gosh. Maybe not. Ooh. A little too close for comfort there. Oh gosh. Whoa! Ugh. Alright. We have a limited number of continues on this too, so we may have to do this several times before I actually complete it. Ow. Mostly because I'm pretty sure Cammy is not my best character. She doesn't have very much health. Jeez, come on. Get off me. Ah. No, 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 no. Go away. There we go. Right. Ow. Come here. Oh. Ah. Ah, jeez. That was another continue. Alright. Yeah, we're probably going to have to do this again as a different character just because I know for a fact Cammy's harder to use than some of the other characters. Whoa. But we'll play her first because this is kind of her game. Kind of. Kind of. Oh, no, you don't. Ah, no. Get out of here. Oh, that would help quite a bit, actually. I didn't realize I had a lock on. Wow, okay. I feel dumb. That helps tremendously. The other trigger to lock on. It's a little finicky, but it's at least better than trying to aim free. Alright. Ew. Boom. No. No! There we go. Alright, yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Now I know what I was doing wrong. Yeah, I got 0 credits now. Alright. Gotta make it count. Oh, no, you don't. Oh. So, in case you're wondering, yes, this game is 2-player. Not 4-player, though. Kind of a disappointment if you owned a Dreamcast, because there are very few games that actually support 4-player on Dreamcast. Despite the fact that it's 4 freaking ports. That stinks. Had that health right there and everything. Ugh. That's bad. Alright. Let's see. Okay, well, I figured we'd have to do it again, so we topped the score ranking. Alright. So let's pick somebody with a little more health. Which, yeah, to be honest, the first character I ever beat the game with was Arthur, so we're gonna do Arthur. And by the way, which Arthur do you think this is? Why, the one from Ghouls and Ghosts, of course. I think I'm joking. Wait till you see his ending if we ever get to it. Ah, yes, that's why I liked Arthur. There we go. Because when I think Ghouls and Ghosts, I think Haunted Missiles. Yeah, get out of here. Alright. Oh, no. Bad. No bugs. No, bad bugs. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's also a good thing. Have a giant beam super. That's really helpful. Oh, wow, that did a ton of damage. Yeah, now I remember why I like Arthur. Ow. Oh, come on. Yep. There we go. Beautiful. Get off me. Oh, I'm still alive. Alright, good. Kill him. Yay! Tiny little sliver of life. Alright. And now we're back here. Oh, yeah, no. Alright. Well, I only used up one, something like that. Yeah. Oops. Oop, no. Get out of here. Whoop. There he goes. Yay! Alright. Big wheel dragon! Whoa. There we go. Yeah, Arthur just makes this whole thing look easy. Oops. Ow. I said that and I start getting beat up. There we go. Alright. Got it. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna blow you to smithereens. They like them apples. Ooh, ouch. Whoa. Whoa. No. Bad UFO. Go away. Yay. Okay. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, still got 2 credits. We're still doing good. Alright. I'll take it. Oh, no you don't. Get out of here. Oh, hi. How you doing? Yeah. Jeez. Excuse me. Get out of here. Stop chasing me. Oh no! Don't hit me like flamethrowers. Nice. Ow! There we go. Roof. Bye. All right, here we go. Fire a bunch of these. Alright, so I gotta use up a credit. That's okay. We can just burn through our supers. There it goes. Oh, no. Okay, you got 2 points. Got it. Oh, ow. Sure. Taste missile. There we go. Alright, we got 1 credit left. 6. Forget how many missions there are. I think there's 8 and then 2 boss missions. Like 2 final missions, like the first 8 just sort of rotate out, and then the last 2 are always the same. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. It's been so long since I played this. Oh gosh, get out of here. Ow. There. Whoa. No. Go away. Go away. Go away. Woohoo! No. Bye. Whew. Alright. Jungle Master Sasuke. Bug eyes for some reason. Yeah. Oh. No fair. No. No. Get out of here. There. Alright. Ouch. No! There. Oh. 7. Okay. Oh, okay, now this is where we're starting to get to the final stuff. No. We did this level before. So yeah, it gives you the same levels, it just keeps putting them in a different order. Up until you get to the boss, and then, or the last couple of stages, and then I think it's different. So, whoa, no. Get out of here. Why are you guys taking so much damage? Jeez. Go away. Get out of here. Jeez. Alright, insect overlord. Hello. Oh gosh. Oh god. No. Ooh. There we go. Whew. Okay. No credits. Mission 8. Okay, yeah, this is the final one. Yeah, there are some of them you just have to stab them in order to kill them. No. Oh no. Game over. Dang it. Alright. Well, we got further, but we didn't quite make it, did we? Alright. It also stinks that there's two. Oh, really? I had less of a score, even though I didn't get as far. Interesting. Yeah, the lack of sound effects and stuff in this is kind of annoying. I'll try Charlie. Why not? The guy whose job it is to die. Oh, ouch. Wow, he has very little life, too. Ugh. Oh. Ouch. Alright. Ah. Ouch. Alright, well, we're not gonna get too far in this run, I guess. There. Ugh. Alright. Do this again. Bye-bye. Alright. Ooh, there we go. Good job, Charlie. Whew. Yeah. Ow. That's unfair. Whoa. Much better. Alright. Okay, so this super is just not that good. This is what I'm getting. Ouch. Ow. I need to make sure I use them up before he dies. Yeah. Gotcha. Sheesh. Alright. Alright, here we go. That's zombie man. Go away. Go. Gimme. Go. Oh. No, thanks. I did not have zombies for breakfast. There we go. Oh, jeez.
Sonic boom.
No, you don't. Ew. No, no, no. Really, it's bits of bugs. Goodness. Alright. Bio Monster BB. Ow. Wow. Okay, he just went crazy. Okay, I just shot down the wall. Blech. Yeah. This could be going better. Oops, oops, oops. Get out of here. Where? Whoa. I don't think we're going to survive this one. Ow. Alright. Get out of here. Ah. Ow. Yeah, that was it. All right. Well, let's try one of the hidden characters. Considering we didn't make it all the way through with Arthur, although we got probably pretty close. Mega Man! Yes, you can play as Mega Man. Mega Man might be a little overpowered here. Ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay. Sometimes I wish I knew Japanese so I had some idea of what he's saying. The fact that he's saying it constantly, though, is a bit annoying. If it wasn't the Japanese, I'd probably be even more annoyed. Whoop, whoop, okay. No, 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 no. Ow. There we go. Shoot you up the butt. See how you like it. Yeah. By the way, I called him a secret character. There's no code to get him or anything. He just happens to be off to the side of the character selection. Kind of like how Akuma is technically hidden in X-Men vs. Street Fighter, even though he's not really. He's just at the top of the character selection thing. You can't see him. Like, put the cursor on him. So. We're doing pretty good with Mega Man. We made it. Alright, so we're at 4 without losing all our continues. Not bad. There we go. So far, so good. Let's just drop this right now. Ow. Whoa. Oh, there's a turret right there. Whoops. Right, 5. Oh, times. Oh well. Alright. Out of this stage. Whew. Okay. No, you don't. There we go. Whew. There. 7. Alright. Oh yeah, it actually says it right there at the top, doesn't it? 7. Oh, mean screeches. Here. Whoa. Oh gosh, but it takes so long to set it up. Yeah. Ow. There we go. Alright. Ouch. No, get up. Alright. 8. Entrance. Okay, so now we're a boss. Of course, we have no credits this time. We didn't do last time. Oh. Jeez. Ow. Oh wow. Okay, that up quite a bit. Got him. Alright, alright. getting somewhere. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Okay. Well, we did better. We're learning. We're learning. Still on normal. Might as well try it. BB Hood. Red Riding Hood with an Uzi. Whoa. Okay. He pulled out a freaking flamethrower. She drops a grenade, which is kind of helpful, actually. Oh, wow. Okay. There we go. Alright, BB. Oopsie. There she goes. Alright. That's just kind of funny. Both if you have the flamethrower and a grenade. And Uzi. I guess the grenade thing is supposed to be a picnic basket. I think that's what's going on. Can't really tell. It looks like a little red block. No, sir. Ow. She shoots at everything but the bug directly in front of her face. Like you did. Alright, there we go. Oh! There we go. Whew. Yay. I mean, of all the Darkstalkers characters, BB is the one that shows up in this. Because, of course. Whoa. Whoa. The grenades being her heavy melee attack is actually really, really helpful. Despite the fact that it's so short range. Oh, gosh. There you go. There he goes. Okay. There we go. Whew. See ya. Alright, BB. Show them how it's done. Yep. Golly. Get out of here. Oof. Whew. Bye. Keep turning it the wrong way. Alright. Ooh. Boom. Oh, it's an apple. I see it now. I don't know why it took me that long to figure that out. Yeah. home. Alright. King of the jungle. No. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Let's see. Boom. Alright. Seven. We're out of credits already. Boy. Oh. Woo! No. Wait. Go away. Whew. All right. Let's see. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I got a cord in the way. My bad. All right. Okay. So somehow, despite the fact that we knew what we were doing more, we keep scoring less, which is weird. So, why is that? Can you tell us, Cammy? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh. Do a lot more damage up close as Cammy. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Alright, here goes. Got him. Alright. So apparently the trick with Cammy is to just beat up on people. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, jeez. Ow. Alright. Let's see. Whoops. Whoa. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it all the way through with Cammy here. Yeah, we did a lot better just by rushing in the whole time. So, yeah, despite the fact that point-wise we didn't do much better. Alright, so, last run, but we're going to tweak the difficulty just slightly. See if that at least gets us to where we can get an ending. Just because he suits my playstyle of not really wanting to get in everybody's face if I can help it. Alright. Very good. Whew. Alright, we're doing pretty good. Unholy dwelling. No! I'm gonna kill you. Oh. That was overkill probably, but what you gonna do? Whoa. Wee. There we go. Yay. All right. Ow. There we go. All right. Whoa. No, sir. Ouch. Got him. What are we at? 5? Alright. See if we can do this. Oops. Gotcha. Boom. There we go. Whew. Yeah, this is what a lot of the Dreamcast library ended up with. That was a lot of these really arcadey kind of experiences. And I think my favorite Dreamcast game is Crazy Taxi, and it's arcadey just like everything else. So, I mean, if you want to have evidence as to why the Dreamcast kind of suffered, you know, that's one of the reasons. Arcade style titles are kind of what Sega's bread and butter, so Capcom had plenty of those to go around at this point. Ooh. Oh, jeez. Ah. Right. Get off me. There. Ugh. Well, he always gets that early shot off. It's really annoying. Eight, alright. We're out of credits though. Here we go. There he goes. Kabuki. Oh, jeez. There. Golly. He just wasn't going to leave me alone. Deep Shrine. Oh, nice. Nice. Whoa. Ouch. There she goes. Ugh. Oh, jeez. Wow. Okay. We got slightly further. Alright. Well, cannon spike, everybody. Oh. Oh, I see it changed the thing there. So, yeah, as I was saying, this wound up being a lot of what the Dreamcast was. There were very few exceptions, and the exceptions are the ones that most people remember: Shenmue, Resident Evil, Jet Grind Radio, stuff like that. So, but then you do have some arcade classics that just eventually came over to other stuff, like last week when we were playing Marvel. So, but this is one of those games that had a very small release. Never really saw it on anything else, and it's still fun. It's just it takes some getting used to. So, the Dreamcast is starting to wear really hard on my hands here. I'm starting to get blisters in places I didn't think I would. So, we're going to have to call it quits for tonight. But we'll be back a little later this week with some more Marvel. Or maybe some other Dreamcast games if we decide to try that out. And, yeah, so, in the meantime, take it easy. Have a great night.